The Homeworld saga is back. Homeworld 3 is the eagerly awaited next chapter in this legendary sci-fi real-time strategy series. In this video, I am going to break down everything I learned about Homeworld 3 at Gamescom 2023, where I spoke to the game director and got to play an alpha build. Today, we're diving headfirst into the incredible universe of Homeworld 3. If you've been unfortunate enough to never come across the Homeworld franchise before, let me quickly bring you up to speed. In Homeworld, you take control and battle through fleet combat in dazzling, fully 3D space with an award-winning story that unfolds across a galactic scale. Before we go any further, I do need to say a massive thank you to Gearbox Publishing for inviting me to Gamescom 2023 to try out Homeworld 3 and for sponsoring this video. Now, let's talk about something that definitely got me very excited: Homeworld 3's revolutionary new multiplayer mode, War Games. This unique co-op experience takes the game beyond its as yet unseen single-player campaign. War Games is a fresh fusion of Homeworld's signature real-time strategy gameplay with roguelike mechanics. You and up to 2 other commanders will embark on a journey through a series of fleet combat challenges. Flex your strategic muscles, manage your fleet strength, and secure game-changing artifacts to bolster your ships across different scenarios. With each objective completed, the stakes get higher and the rewards richer. So what exactly is War Games? Well, it's an all-new 1 to 3 player co-op mode that expands the Homeworld 3 universe far beyond its campaign. Think of it as a fusion between Homeworld's iconic RTS gameplay and the thrill of a roguelike game. Your journey begins with a single choice: your starting fleet. There are 3 distinct options. First, you could go for a strikecraft fleet, a balanced setup with predetermined starting artifacts. Second, you could take a recon fleet, beginning with fewer ships, more resources, and the freedom to choose your starting artifacts for a more customized experience. Or third, the bomber fleet. If you're all about power and destruction, then this is probably the choice for you. You start with 2 torpedo frigates and predetermined artifacts. And speaking of artifacts, these are going to change up your gameplay. Acquired from artifact boxes by completing objectives, they can do a range of different things, from providing passive bonuses like the Interceptor Brawler upgrade that enhance the strengths of your fleet, to unlocking entire ship classes like the awesome Beam Assault Frigate. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is not a walk in the park. Enemy opposition will escalate in strength and numbers over time, so it is a race against the clock as you protect your carrier, gather resources, complete objectives, and advance before the odds become simply overwhelming. Let's talk about the commander rank. This is your ticket to meta progression. By completing the objectives and progressing through runs, you will gain experience points, whether you win or you lose. These will then unlock additional artifacts for your starting pool and new starting fleets. But what's a game without objectives? War Games introduces a range of exciting mission objectives. You can scout the periphery, secure an area, escort civilians, intercept enemy transports, assassinate key targets, and finally, assault and capture. An objective will be randomly drawn for you when you jump into each mission. This increases replayability quite a lot because each map will have a large variety of different missions at its disposal. So, how do you find and gain artifacts? Well, as I've said before, completing objectives, but that is only the beginning. Challenges also play a role. For instance, destroying a set number of hostiles can unlock artifacts like the mighty Beam Assault Frigate, ready to be utilized in your future run-throughs. Your playstyle can drastically shape your fleet. With the current available artifacts, you can stack power-ups towards different ship types, from strikecraft to frigates, even unlocking unique ships exclusive to the War Games theatre. And for those of you that have played previous installments of the franchise, you'll be excited to hear that the Incarnate faction is going to be playable right from the start of the game. And now let's talk about my gameplay experience. We've got 3 mission areas to explore in this build, but remember, this is just the beginning. At launch, we can expect more maps, more artifacts, and more objectives to keep the excitement flowing. Now for those meta progression enthusiasts, you might be wondering about the level cap. In the demo I got to try out, I was capped at 10, but I've been told the release version is going to have a much higher ceiling. I teamed up with EP30 to have a go at Wargames, and we both went with a Strikecraft fleet. All batteries fire, fire!
It does look incredible.
Our first mission was Civilian Escort. As you might expect, our objective was to move our carriers into position and support a fleet of 4 civilian ships, with wave after wave of enemy ships coming in to thwart us. EP30 built up a nice wall of assault frigates that were honestly the backbone of our early fleet, as much as I hate to admit it, and this really carried the mission. I constructed a few torpedo frigates. They were less effective in the close quarters environment of this map though. Speaking of maps, Homeworld 3 now offers very 3D environments. By filling the maps with debris and other topographical obstacles, you have the opportunity to screen fleets, hide your forces, basically whatever you can think of with all of these walls and surfaces all over the place. It does make the gameplay feel much more dynamic than previous installments of the franchise.
Okay, there's only 3 or 4 civilian ships.
We're not following them.
I mean, they're almost there. I have clicked them, they're just faster. It's quite annoying, actually. But my resource stuff's where they need to go, and I've cleared that area already, so no problem.
We did manage to get the civilians off the map, but only by the skin of our teeth. With our forces under heavy attack, we jumped out and on to mission number 2.
So yeah, well,
actually, we're just taking fire right now.
We can go if you want.
Yeah, let's initiate hyperspace. I'm just taking hits. I'm losing ships.
Let's go. So we finished the first round. Let's go. So now we'll get to a second round, which is much harder.
I'm still alive. Here we rolled secure area. And honestly, I think we did a pretty textbook job on this one. EP30 had those great assault frigates which stormed ahead and held the objective, and that was basically that.
Torpedo frigates.
They're there. They're in between you. Open fire.
Where is the...
On top of you. They're literally on top of you.
Oh. Yeah, I literally can't see them.
They're dead now, but they were on top of you. They like
there's people like all the way up here as well.
By now, we were starting to coordinate and managing to actually escort our resource collectors, the backbone of our in-game economy. I can confirm forgetting to protect them from harm is not a good idea. We went into the final mission with full fleets, and I believe we were actually getting good.
Oh.
Really?
What?
Are we getting that good?
I'm gonna... Oh,
sorry. Sorry, I clicked. Right. Initiate hyperspace. Go, go, go. The third mission was a little special. First of all, the map here was absolutely gigantic, easily dwarfing the previous missions. Second of all, the objectives. This time we had to run around the map taking out 3 separate, unique fleets, each tooled for a different fight. Then we had to deal with something a little special the devs had left in the game just for us.
An enemy battleground up.
But we were gearing up for this fight as well. I was lucky enough to roll the beam assault frigate artifact, meaning I could now start churning out these very powerful ships. An all-rounder class able to take on fighters, frigates, and even larger targets, which I can tell you would come in very helpful later on. I sent my initial fleet of frigates, ion and torpedo, to their ignominious deaths. As in the Wargames mode, unlike a normal game of Homeworld, you have a strict population cap for each class of vessel in your armada. 8 frigates was the maximum, and I wanted all beam. Oh good, I'm losing my torpedo frigates, which was exactly part of the plan, so I can get the beam assault frigates. We knocked out the first 2 fleet objectives, but in doing so, we got spread out, and our ships did take a lot of punishment. The in-game smoke effects were definitely a nice touch. I'm going to try and get all of my ships to heal up a bit, because like they're all low health. Look at all this smoke trailing in space. EP30 charged in and took on the suppression fleets alone, while I fought a pretty desperate rearguard action against the fresh enemy spawns. Oh, I'm getting smacked in the back.
I'll send some forces to help.
I'm engaging. We've got our laser frigates coming in. Oh, these beam frigates are
is
so
beautiful.
good. They can hit interceptors and they can hit the other frigates. Then, as we thought we had completed the last objective, an incarnate battle cruiser entered the fray, slipping in behind us like a knife in the back.
We did it! An enemy battle cruiser!
All units form up. EP30 wanted to regroup. I wanted to take the glory.
Put everything on my carrier. Oh, you just sent everything there. Okay. I'll send everything too.
I'm taking it now.
You're going slowly on the left.
Taking it now.
No, Anakin, no!
They're trailing smoke, but they're going to love it.
You're
Just
gonna
a battle
die.
cruiser. All right, it's more than just a battle cruiser. They're a strike craft as well. They fire torpedoes.
No!
I boosted my recons to get there. Oh,
I'm sending 2 beam assault after. The rest are going to go after the cruiser. And before EP30 ships could even arrive, my beam frigates absolutely stole the show, taking down that battle cruiser by themselves.
my frigates are almost there.
I'm going to engage triple shot. Oh, sorry. Oh, we knocked it
Didn't
out.
even get there.
Oh, my beam assault frigates, man. So good. And even more importantly,
We'll see how many kills they got.
I got more kills.
Oh, you got 10 more kills than me.
Overall, I loved the small slice of the game I got to experience, and I cannot wait to play the full campaign for Homeworld 3 when it releases in February 2024. Speaking of which, if you'd like to wishlist that on Steam now, and also support this channel, you can do so by following the link down in the description below. Also, the epic saga continues. Wishlist now using these links you see on your screen today. But wait, there's more. Let's delve into something that I believe will give Homeworld 3 a metric ton of longevity: modding. Gearbox Publishing and Blackbird Interactive have teamed up with mod.io to empower the creative minds in this nascent community. Modders, this will be your canvas. You can express your creativity by crafting your own content to be shared with fellow players. At launch, the devs will be providing tools to augment ships and create customized levels within the Unreal game editor, placing megaliths, resources, and other objects to design battlefields that can be shared with the community. The devs know ships and level modifications are just the beginning, however, and they fully expect the Homeworld 3 community to quickly customize other aspects of the game as well. And the best part? Curated community content will be just a click away, enhancing your gameplay experience. Through their partnership with mod.io, they'll curate that content to make it easy for players, regardless of computer know-how, to explore the creations of their fellow commanders. On both the Epic Games Store and Steam, players will be able to find and download new community creations without ever leaving the Homeworld 3 game client. Well, I don't know about you, but I am now very excited to sink my teeth into the full campaign of Homeworld 3 when it releases next year in February.